Looks like we're live, maybe? Yeah, we're live. Okay. Happy Sunday. Cool. How is everyone doing? Good morning, Ethereal. How are you, my friend? Say hi, Luce. On time for once. No worries, I'm just on time. I'm always like just getting here, almost on time. How are you feeling? Is there anything in particular that you would like to work into today? Open up chat here as well. Dope. Cool. Tea. So, everyone, welcome to Sunday morning yoga and meditation. Is the music too loud? Maybe. My forearms have been feeling weird. Okay. Is it from all the, like, I don't even know. Alright. Yeah, let's do some wrist resiliency. It's actually been a while since we did any wrist work. So that is going to definitely get your forearms involved. Yeah, definitely easy to incorporate that. And a good reminder. It's Inktober, so it's probably not a bad idea for me to stretch out my wrists either, considering doing a lot of extra drawing. I mean, a lot of extra drawing, probably like an hour of extra drawing every day. So, hour and a half. It's good. It's like building up endurance from how long we usually draw for. Alright, let's set up our space. Good morning, hey, cool sword. How are you doing, Ben? How was your week? Ooh. Could see like a thing on my. Anyway, I'm gonna roll out my yoga mat so you guys can set up your space as well. Whatever needs to be cleared or mat needs to be rolled out. Doing good. Good. I'm glad. Oof. I don't have my little table for my my screen, so we're like a little lower angle today, but it's all good. I went to a costume party last night, and I ran into Emily for a graduating class. Emily Cole. Man, wow, yeah, I haven't spoken to her in years. That feels weird to say because it makes me feel old that like there's somebody that I could have not spoken to for years, but it's the truth. It's the truth. How is she? I'm sure she's doing great. I feel like she was always really well organized and talented. Oh man, that would be really, really awesome to see all you guys again in the Northeast. All right. So, what we do here is we practice. She and Chris got married? Oh, scandal. Oh my gosh. Not scandalous at all. Actually, really cute. They've been together almost as long as Pat and I have been together. That's so sweet. Aw, good for them. Ooh. So, we'll start with a seated meditation, really grounding, guided grounding, move into, or go into movement, yoga, some joint resiliency, lymphatic shaking, breath of joy, breath work, all of that. And then end with a nice long Shavasana. Play some crystal singing bowls for you, or a crystal singing bowl, singular. and we'll call that class. So whatever I lead you through is an invitation. Don't get hung up on how it looks. We can pay attention to alignment without putting any judgment on it. So just move through things the way they feel right in your body, and it's okay to challenge yourself, but there's no need to add that negative chatter in the head about what anything looks like. All right, so we don't need music for this. Thank you. So to get started, we'll be in Sukhasana. That's easy sitting pose. You might sit, I just have a little cushion here. You might sit up on a folded blanket or like a yoga block if you have one of those. Just to get the hips a little bit elevated helps get the legs more comfortable here. Of course, you could do this seated in a chair as well. Then, as if there's a string pulling you up from the crown of your head towards the sky, and just sit up tall. Heart over hips, head over heart. Hands come to rest on the lap, either palms down to ground down, or palms up to give and receive energy if you feel you've got a little extra to give. Eyes can close if that's comfortable, or just lower to a soft gaze just beyond your legs if that is more comfortable for you. We'll take 3 cleansing breaths. In through the nose, shoulders rise up towards the ears, and an audible sigh out the mouth, shoulders drop away. Return to a natural breath's pace. Breathing in and out through the nose if that's available. We'll take a moment here just to arrive. Let go of everything that came before and everything that's to come up after. Become present to yourself here in this moment. Here in this space. And begin to allow sounds into your awareness. Just allow the sounds to come to you, perhaps sounds at a distance. Passing traffic or singing birds. Sounds closer by, the shuffling of a pet or humming of a light. Allowing all sounds in, all part of this moment, this experience. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. And feel the weight where your body makes contact with the ground below you. The weight of your hands on your knees. Just get a general sense of how the body feels right now. We'll begin to scan the body from head down towards toes. Checking in for any places of tightness or sensitivity, any restlessness or fidgeting. We'll use these observations to inform our movement practice, actively pressing into the spaces that call out for your attention here. We'll shift that awareness from the body, Annamaya Kosha, to the energetic level, Pranamaya Kosha. Just noticing where you're at energetically in this moment on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being exhausted, fatigued, ready to crawl into bed, 10 being so full of energy it's hard to sit still. And shifting the attention to the breath. No need to change it, just observe inhalations, exhalations, whatever space in between. Might notice where in the body there's a rise and fall with the breath. And we'll shift that awareness from the breath to the mind, Manomaya Kosha. For the next few moments, just allow the mind to be free. No need to engage with the thoughts, just let feelings and thoughts rise naturally, observing them from a distance. Notice, what are the quality of the thoughts today? Do they have a positive or a negative tilt? Are they ruminating on the past or attempting to predict the future? Not right or wrong, not good or bad, just something to notice. We'll bring the attention back down to the breath. This time actively expanding the breath. Every inhale sips in a little more air. And every exhale lets something more go. Inhaling into the belly, belly expands like a balloon inflating. Exhales, release belly button in towards spine, actively pulling the belly in. Inhale, fills belly and ribs expand. Exhale, releases ribs and belly deflate. Inhale, fills belly, ribs, and chest, air filling the whole torso. Exhale, releases chest, ribs, and belly. Contract, squeezing all the air out. Following that pattern of breath, belly, ribs, chest on the inhale, chest, ribs, belly on the exhale. You can go at your own pace here. If it's hard for you to isolate these places, You can place your hands on them to actually feel the lift and fall. Stay tall in your seat. Space between top and bottom teeth as the jaw hangs heavy. The whole face is relaxed. Tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth. And when the mind wanders, bring it back to the breath. In this Dirga Pranayam 3-part breathing pattern. And on your next exhale, releasing that effort from the breath, return to a natural pace. Just observing the breath, perhaps a bit affected from actively deepening and slowing down the breath. And practicing these breathing techniques helps move the body out of sympathetic fight and flight mode into parasympathetic rest and digest mode. Hands come to meet at heart center, palms pressed together in Anjali Mudra. No space between the fingers and the thumbs pressed into the sternum. Consider here setting an intention or a dedication for your practice. Your reason for showing up to the mat today. The invitation is to set it in a positive and affirmative tense. So it may sound something like, I flow through life with ease and grace, as if it's already happening right now. We'll seal that intention with the sound of Om. You're invited to chant along with me, of course. First, a cleansing breath. Allow the hands to release to the lap, chin drops towards chest, and on an inhale, right ear rolls over towards right shoulder. Exhaling, chin to chest, and left ear rolls towards left shoulder. Just allowing the head to gently roll side to side. And the next time the head rolls through center, bring it up to neutral and just begin to roll the shoulders forward. So working up to the space in the upper back and between the shoulder blades. And roll the shoulders back, opening the chest, space around the collarbones. Coming to stillness in the shoulders, we'll go into our neck rolls. I'm just turning to the side so you can see. Obviously, you can stay facing forward. Seated up tall, shoulders down, stay still. We tuck the chin in towards the chest and reach the nose towards the floor using just our neck mobility. Reach nose towards the wall in front, towards the sky above, back towards the wall behind, and then tuck the chin back in. Creating this circle with the nose. Moving to the edges of our range of motion in the cervical spine, the bones of your neck. Keep the breathing full. Aim to smooth out the movement. And slow the movement down. Generally, when you think, should I slow this down? It's a good time to slow down the movement. We'll change directions, reaching the chin towards the ceiling, towards the wall in front, down towards the ground, and scoop the chin back in. So we're opening up the range of motion in the neck, bringing in mobility to a part of the body that often can feel stiff or tense. And last rotation. Bring it back to center. You can just drop the ear shoulder to shoulder. We'll shake out. And an inhale, arms sweep up overhead, reaching out of the waist, tall towards the sky. Exhale, right hand releases down, left arm reaches over for a side bend. And sweep the hand in front. Right arm follows. And just give big sweeping circles in this direction. Really, there's no wrong answer. We're just giving the side body an open. As we reach forward into that forward fold area, we're giving the back body a bit of an open. Just warming up the spine. Early class is all about just warming up, getting all the clicks and cracks out of the body. Let's change directions. Left arm sweeps up towards the sky and over towards the ground. Right arm follows, then right arm leads, sweeping forward in front. Left arm follows. Just big sweeping free movement in this direction. And the next time the arms sweep up overhead, we'll meet there. Take a deep breath in to reset. And exhale, we'll twist to the right. Left hand lands on right knee, right hand lands on the ground behind you. And we twist the chest open towards the side wall. Inhale up through center. And exhale, twist right. Following the breath, in to rise. And out to twist. In to rise. Out to twist. In to rise. And this time the elbows bend, hands come to about ear height. Just give them a wave out. Then palms flip down. Fingers wiggle side to side like awkwardly playing a piano. So we're warming up the wrists and hands here. Palms flip towards the sky as if your fingernails are going to touch your forearm. the back of your arm, fingers spread wide, and rotate. Like tossing pizzas with really bad form. So just these little movements, they might seem trivial, and then you might get to one that you hear like crunching or grinding in your wrists, and that's without any weight. So we're just kind of like noticing what shows up, and our wrists are very important. 3, 2, 1, and just like shaking off water, nice and gentle. Nothing crazy here. Just waking up the hands. Okay, let's give our legs a break from sitting in these cross-legged position and let them extend out in front of you. If you're sitting on a block, point and scrunch and spread the toes, roll out the ankles, change directions. Okay, go down. Knees bend, feet come nice and wide. We'll drop the knees side to side, just begin to wake up the hips. And the next time the knees fall over to the right, let's bring the hands to frame it, coming into a tabletop pose. Cool. So, hands below shoulders and knees below hips. On an inhale, belly drops, hips and chest rise for cow pose. Exhaling, round in the spine, chin tucks in towards chest for cat pose. Following the breath in for cow and out for cat. Inhale. Inhaling, we press the hands down and back, knees down and forward like you're trying to scrunch your mat together to get a better grip to deepen the arch. And exhaling, we press the hands down and forward, the knees down and back like you're trying to spread the mat apart to deepen the rounding. Just let the speed of your body be informed by the length of your breath. We'll bring it back to neutral tabletop pose. Turn the hands out. Turn the hands out to 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock on an analog clock. Palms facing away from one another, still below the shoulders. And here we'll start to move side to side, bringing the weight over one wrist and then the other, like super slow. If you feel like you've got to go really, really far, you can bring the wrists even closer. So you'll feel as you bring the wrists closer to one another, it becomes more challenging. So we want to keep our palms on the ground. So avoid the temptation to lift the hand as you come over. You want all palms and all fingers to be pressed into the ground right now. This can feel really intense. Even after like lots of years of doing this, it's still quite intense. Wrist work be like that. So just trust the process and listen to your body. When you get to a point where you're like, okay, maybe your body could go further, but it's starting to feel sharp instead of just intense, then you know that that's your edge and you just want to back off from it. It doesn't have to be a big back off, it can just be a degree. As we come over the right wrist, we'll hold it there and the breath continues. So we can hold the pose, but not the breath. Just allowing the weight to be in that right hand. All the fingers are pressed into the ground, palm is still on the ground. And let's shift. We're bringing the weight over the left wrist. So one wrist might feel different than the other. It does for me. My left and right wrist feel completely different from one another. I'm right-handed, super dominantly right-handed. Like I can do stuff with my left hand, however, for sure, my right hand is doing a lot more than my left. So these wrist stretches feel really different on bilateral comparison, like comparing left to right. Now, it's not good or bad, it's just something to notice. Alright, we'll bring it back to center. Unrotate the hands, so the fingers are just facing 12 o'clock. Tuck the toes under, and we'll sit back on the heels. So you should be getting a foot stretch here. And here you can give your wrists a bit of like a little massage, like forearm to wrist massage, almost like you're vigorously washing your hands, just get the blood circulating again. Okay. Hands come back down onto the mat, facing 12 o'clock, and then we'll rotate them out and back towards 6 o'clock. So out to the sides, like where they were before, and then back towards the knees. Still the wrists are below the shoulders, but the fingertips are facing the knees. Same rules apply. Palms stay glued to the ground, fingers press into the ground. I tuck the toes under for a little more control, and we're just going to shift the hips back and forward. We're not swinging our weight or building any momentum whatsoever. We are just controlled and mindfully pressing back without lifting the palms, releasing forward. And the next time we sit the hips back. So my hips aren't seated on my heels or anything like that. That's not even the goal. The focus here is completely on the wrist, hands, and forearms. I'm just breathing fully here. Just notice if you're clenching your jaw or scrunching your your eyebrows rather. Just release any tension in the face. Bless you. Bring the weight back into the wrists. Unrotate them. Tuck the toes under. Sit back for another stretch on the feet. And shake out the hands like water. I think it feels, but for me it feels better to just give the forearms and the wrists a bit of a massage, then interlace fingers and do a little wrist flossing. So it's just like making a figure 8 with the hands. This is a good way to just reset as well. Hello, Big Papa 007. Welcome to stream. Happy Sunday. We're just doing some wrist resiliency work. All right, 1, 2, 3. Great. Hands release onto the mat. Toes have been tucked under. We'll keep them tucked under and send the hips up and back for downward facing dog. First downward dog of class, potentially of the day. It is for me. You can bend in one knee and then the other. Just waking up the backs of the legs. Fingers are spread wide. Finding the distance that works for you. The closer the feet are to the hands, the deeper the stretch in the legs. The farther the feet are from the hands, the deeper the stretch in the shoulders. So you want to find that nice middle ground where your shoulders and your legs are getting a nice stretch here. Let the head be heavy. Let the chest be heavy. Take a deep breath in, lift up onto tiptoes. And an audible sigh out, dropping the heels.
It's okay if your heels don't touch the ground. Inhaling, lift onto tiptoes. Exhale, release. And once more like that. We'll look up between the hands and just tiptoe the feet all the way up towards the hands. Feet come to shoulder distance or so. You can release the head nice and heavy. Knees can be a little or a lot bent here. Grabbing opposite elbows for ragdoll. We'll give the body a bit of a swing here. Side to side, forward and back. Whatever feels good to you, just a little free movement. Just letting the weight of the head and the upper body, the shoulders, help elongate the spine and the back. We'll release the hands, tiptoe the feet together, or heel toe the feet together until big toes come to touch with a little space between the heels so the ankles don't knock together. Inhaling to a halfway lift, hands on shins, like you're making the number 7 with your body. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale rolls you all the way up to stand. Arms sweep up when you get there. And exhale, hands to heart center, Tadasana mountain pose. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead, eyes follow fingertips, a little tilt of the head back. Exhale, forward fold. You can bring a little bend to the knees. Inhale, half lift, hands on shins. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Right foot takes a giant step back. Bend in the left knee so that you have space to step it back. Left knee stays over the left ankle. And right heel is pressing back. Arms sweep up overhead for a high lunge. Alternately, you can bring your hands onto that left knee for stability to get yourself upright. Arms come up overhead. And an inhale, extend both legs straight, like you're being pulled up towards the sky. Exhale, bends in the knees, bends in the elbows. Shoulder blades squeeze together like you're holding a pencil between them. And elbows pull back like they're going to go into your back pockets of high-waisted jeans. Inhale, both legs extend long. Exhale, both knees bend. Inhale, extend. And exhale, knees bend. Eyes are glued to a drishti, a focal point in front of you, something that won't move. Closer to the ground will be more stable. Inhale, extend long. And then just the front knee bends. So we come into a high lunge. Pressing back through the heel. Knee, watch that it doesn't cave in towards center. Keep it directly over the ankle. Left hip slightly pulling back, right hip slightly forward. Full breath here. Then the left hand comes down, or rather, the hands come down to frame the front foot. And the left arm sweeps up towards the sky. So now we're twisting the towards the side wall, towards the left side of the mat. Fingertips reaching towards the sky. Breathing fully, even in the contortion of a twist. We'll release that hand down to frame the foot. Gently release the right knee to the mat and extend the left leg back, Ardha Hanumanasana. So we're sending the hips up and back, they're directly over the knee. If you feel you've still got space, you can slide the left foot forward, and then as you press the hips back, it'll help extend this leg long. Hands can be down by the sides, on the mat for stability, or up on blocks. Just mindful, it can be tempting to use this leg for stability, but we want to avoid pressing down on this extended leg. No need to give the knee any stress or strain. Point and flex the toes. Windshield wiper the foot side to side. Waking up the back of the leg here. In Ardha Hanumanasana, half split pose. Deep breath in, elongate the back, flattening it out. And exhale as if your nose is going to touch your toes. We're just reaching it forward. It's okay if that's not a dramatic move for you to fold forward. It might just be a degree. It might not even be perceptible to the eyes. Just breathing here into the back of that left leg. We'll walk the hands back. Bend in the left knee. Coming into that low lunge. Right toes tuck under. Send the leg straight, send the left leg back to meet the right. Deep breath in, plank pose. Shifting forward just a bit, just pointing the toes a bit. And exhale, we lower down. You can lower knees down first. Just lower it all the way down to the mat. Toes point. Tops of the feet press into the ground so hard that the knees slightly lift off the mat. Engage. Glutes squeeze tight, hips pressed into the mat as well. Arms come down by the sides. Palms face down. And then an inhale, chest and shoulders rise, head as well, arms as well for variation of Shavasana. We worked on these last week as we were doing our lower back strengthening. So we're just breathing here, pressing the toes into the ground, lifting the chest and shoulders. Don't worry about looking up towards the sky. Instead, you can just look straight ahead of you or even down towards the mat. Here, we're not really working on stretching the neck. We're just working on strengthening the back. Now, one more deep breath here. Then releasing the chest back down. Hands come underneath shoulders, toes tuck under. And let's send the hips back for child's pose. Big toes come to touch, knees splay apart. Sending the hips towards the heels. Really press the palms into the ground to get the shoulders a bit of a stretch. And let the head come down to the mat. Maybe a little forehead massage, giving the head a little rock side to side. And hands press into the ground. And press it through tabletop into downward facing dog. Hips press up high, heels release down towards the mat. Regardless if they touch or not, that's just the direction the body is headed. The direction the energy is pressing in. Deep breath in through the nose. Audible sigh out the mouth. We'll send the right leg up and back behind you. And exhale, knee in towards nose, tiger's pose, rounding in the spine like cat pose. Come up onto the left tiptoes and the shoulders come up over the wrists. Right foot steps up between the hands. It's okay if that took more than one step. Left foot steps up to meet it. Big toes come to touch. And then an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale rolls you all the way up to stand. The knees can be a little bent for that move. Arms sweep up overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Tadasana mountain pose. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. This time a little tilt in the chest as we give it a little baby back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, hands on shins. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Left foot takes a giant step back. Remember, bend in the right knee to give yourself the space you need to take a big enough step back. Left heels press back. Right knee is over right ankle, making a 90-degree angle. We'll sweep it up to high lunge. Always an option, bringing the hands onto that right thigh to bring the shoulders up over the hips. Fingertips reach towards the sky. And inhale, both legs extend straight, like you're being pulled up towards the sky. And exhale, bend in both knees, elbows bend, and pull back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Knee almost touches the ground, and the inhale brings you back up. Strengthening the legs, working on this balance. Eyes are glued to the drishti, the focal point ahead of you. Exhales lower you down, and inhales bring you back up. It can be tempting to the thought of putting that back knee down every time you go down. You think it'll make it easier, but actually it makes it more difficult, and you also kind of run the risk of bruising that knee. We're bending the elbows as well. So we're just lightly grazing or not even touching the ground at all, just coming very close to it. We just got one more like this. Now this time when you exhale, just the right knee bends. We're coming into that high lunge. Notice if that back toe is still pointed, and just let the heel press back. Hips are square, so that right hip slightly pulling back, left hip slightly pulling forward, that kind of scissoring action towards center. Deep breath in here. Exhale, hands come down to frame the front right foot. And the right arm sweeps open towards the sky. Trying to stack right shoulder over left shoulder. Breathing fully, even in the contortion of the twist. You might look up to that top hand if it feels good on the neck. If it doesn't, you can just look straight ahead of you. Don't worry about straightening the neck here. We're just focusing on strengthening the legs, twisting the spine. We'll release the right hand down to frame the front foot. Gently release the left knee to the mat. And extend the right leg straight, going into our Ardha Hanumanasana, our half split pose. If you've got space to play, like if your leg easily goes straight here, shift, just slide the heel forward. And then as you flex the foot, drag that leg back. The grip from the mat or the ground is going to help elongate and straighten out this leg. So we can use that grip. We don't want to use our hands to straighten out the leg. Instead, you can think of it this way. By flexing the top of the leg, so the quadricep muscle, by flexing the heel, you're helping straighten the leg out using strength instead of force. Two different things. You can point and flex the foot. Windshield wiper the foot side to side. And just like in our wrists, one side might feel different than the other, left and right. So we can compare, make observations without judgments. We don't have to have a bad leg or a good leg or anything like that. We're just kind of noticing what's going on. Then when the toes come to stillness towards the sky, deep breath in, flat back. Exhale, hinging forward like your nose are going to touch your toes. Hands go where it works for you. That might be below the shoulders, reaching forward, on blocks. Anywhere but the knee. Just don't want to be pressing down on the knee. We're finding a deep and calm breath. Even in these contorted poses, even in these moments of tension and effort, discomfort, you can use the breath to signal to the body that it's okay, it's temporary, you're not in danger. The hands back underneath the shoulders, bend in that right knee, left toes tuck under, Lifting the knee up for a low lunge. Hands are framing the front foot. Step the right foot back to meet the left. Plank pose. Straight line from the heels to the crown of the head. And shift the weight forward. We'll lower down slowly all the way down to the mat. You can always drop your knees first. Point the toes. Tops of the feet press into the ground. So hard that the knees lift. Glutes squeeze tight. Hips pressed into the ground as well. And the arms reach back. Maybe you have the space in the shoulders to interlace the hands behind you like you're holding your own hand. If not, just straight back the way we did before, kind of like a penguin. Then on the inhale, chest and shoulders rise, head rises as well. We're not looking towards the sky, we're looking straight ahead or down towards the mat in front. The arms might reach up, like your pinkies are going to touch the ceiling. Shoulder blades are squeezed together. Breathing is full. If you've got the space to play, you might lift the legs as well. So you gotta squeeze the glutes, squeeze the backs of the legs to lift them up. Your chest is reaching towards the wall in front of you. Your toes are reaching towards the wall behind. So think of this more of an elongating pose than a lifting pose. One more deep breath here. Gently release the feet, the chest, the arms. Can bend in the knees and give a windshield wiper left and right. Letting the hips go with you. Nice. Okay. Then both knees bend. The knees come in close to one another. Hands reach back for tops of the feet. You can also do this one at a time if both hands don't reach. Last turn before I come center, we're going into Dhanurasana, floor bow. And inhale, feet kick into the hands. We lift the chest and shoulders just like before. Same muscles it takes to lift chest and shoulders. But now we kick the feet into the hands. Hard, so hard that the thighs might even lift off the ground. We're stretching out the hip flexors, the quadriceps, the shoulders, the chest. Just breathing fully here. Once again, you don't have to look up towards the sky. Looking down towards the ground or straight ahead is just fine. And we're using the strength in the legs to really kick, kick, kick into the hands. One more deep breath here. And gently release the knees down, release the feet. Mindful not to slingshot them back. Pressing into the ground, we'll send it back to child's pose. Big toes come to touch. Let the hips sink down. Let the chest and head sink down. A nice big audible sigh on the exhale there, just to release some tension. Press it into tabletop pose. Toes tuck under. Downward facing dog. Lucy was definitely on my mat before eating her hand. Okay. So here we are in downward facing dog, just finding your spacing. We'll inhale, the left leg sweeps up and back behind you. Exhaling, tiger pose. Knee comes in towards nose, rounding in the spine like cat pose. Lift up onto the right tiptoes, shoulders come up over. Beam wrists, and left foot steps up between the hands. Once again, it's okay if it takes more than one step to get there. Right foot steps up to meet the left. Big toes come to touch, and an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale rolls you all the way up to stand. Arms sweep up when you get there. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll turn to face one another. Sit. Ooh, we built up some heat there. I built up
up some heat there. Not to build up the assumptions on you guys, but all right. So, inhaling, arms sweep up overhead. On the exhale, right arm sweeps under left arm. So I'm reaching in two directions. Then the backs of the hands come together. So, move the right hand in towards the nose, and then when it comes forward again, it slides in front of the left. Garudasana, eagle arms. If this does not feel so hot on your shoulders, you can just put the hands on the shoulders with the elbows stacked like this, and that's just fine. That's just great. Bring a bend to the knees, and right knee opens out to the side. Crossing the leg, like really exaggerate it, cross the leg over the left. Right leg crosses over left. And this foot, the toes can come down to the ground, or they might hook behind that standing left leg. Side. So I can reach back, maybe even looking behind. So we're bending in the knees, squeezing the knees together, and then you can give the elbows a bit of a lift. Garudasana, eagle pose. So you feel the elbows squeeze together, helps open up the shoulders. The knees squeeze together, helps open up the hips. And then like pressing rewind, we untwist the legs, untwist the arms. Deep breath in. Let it go. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, left arm sweeps under right arm. Backs of the hands come together. Left hand moves in towards the face and then slides in front of the right hand for eagle arms. Bend in the knees like you're sitting in a chair. Left knee opens out to the side. And then cross the left leg high over the right thigh. Foot reaches back, back, back. Maybe the toes touch down or come behind to twist behind. To hook that calf. So it can feel, once again, counterintuitive. You might feel like you need to straighten out to get your balance. But actually, the deeper you bend in the knees, the easier it's going to be to keep the elbows and knees squeezed together, to keep the proper alignment. So it takes some strength. We're building or bringing the elbows up. Shoulders, nice stretch. Lots of strengthening, keep building today. Garudasana, eagle pose. Like pressing rewind, we untwist the legs, untwist the arms, deep breath in, let it go. We can shake out the legs, shake out the whole body for a emphatic shake. And keeping the knees bent, we lift and drop the heels, creating this shake, this reverberation to lift and drop my shoulders. And there's no wrong answers here, really just let your body jiggle. So the lymphatic system in the body helps move toxins, and it is dependent on movement for proper functioning. And things like jumping on a trampoline or running are great for the lymphatic system, but so is this shaking. So less impact than jumping like rope or running on pavement, but you're still getting the benefits for that system in the body.
we're just breathing fully, and this whole time we've been working on breathing in and out through the nose, but now you can breathe in and out through the mouth as well, whatever feels good to you. Those audible sighs, now is a great time to incorporate those. So the recommended amount of lymphatic shaking a day is 3 minutes. It's a good way to wake up in the mornings as well. Just gets all your blood flowing, wakes your body up, warms your body up. We just got like 10 seconds left of this, and then we'll go into our breath of joy. All right, come into stillness. Just feel that tingling in the fingertips, the warmth that was built up. Nice. So our breath of joy is 4 parts. 3 sips of air in, and a big ha out the mouth. So we sweep the arms forward, breathing in 1/3 of your lung capacity. Arms sweep out, breathing in 1/3 of your lung capacity. Arms sweep up, filling in the full lung capacity. So it's in, and a big ha. Arms throw back, and all the air comes out, and you can yell as loud as you'd like. I take advantage of this. There's not many other times I feel like in our weeks that I get to just yell at the top of my lungs, but here we are. So, feet shoulder distance apart. We'll bend to the knees, nothing crazy, just comfortable. In, ha, in, ha, in, ha, in, ha. Ha! 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 3 more if you haven't joined in yet. Now's your chance. Ha! Ha! Last one, make it count. Ha! Ha! One hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Eyes can close. Let's just take a moment here to arrive and observe what was created. Heat in the body, raised heart rate. What else shows up for you when you allow yourself to take up space, to yell, to jiggle? Or what shows up as resistance to fully participating? Not right or wrong, not good or bad, just something to notice. Gently allow your eyes to blink open. You might grab a sip of water, towel off some sweat. All right, if you're already down on the ground, you can stay there, we'll meet you. If not, you can come down with me. So at the back of the mat, inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, knees bend deep, deep, deep. So deep. Then we come down to seated. You can walk your hands back for that transition. Let the feet come to touch. Knees splay open in Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose, like making a diamond in the legs. Give your knees a little flap out. Little kids do butterfly pose. Then we'll get a grip on the feet. ankles or shins. Pull that in a bit for leverage to bring the spine nice and tall and straight. And exhaling, we hinge forward, belly, chest, head. Arms can reach forward, just draping the upper body over the lower body. Or you can keep the grip on the ankles and press the elbows into the knees to splay open the legs even more, giving the hips a deeper stretch. So the knees are pressing down towards the ground. The goal isn't to get the knees on the ground, that's just the direction of the body. Either variation of this bound angle pose. Just breathing fully. Bring it back up to seated. Knees up. Scoot forward a bit. And then the legs lift up. Hands can be behind the knees to start. If you're pulling your belly towards your thighs, squeeze the shoulder blades together. We've been working up that strength this whole time, trying to get the shins parallel to the ground for Urdhva Navasana, our upward facing boat pose. Hands might release. Taking a deep breath here. And we're going to slow motion release all the way down. Taking your time. And arms reach up overhead. Full body stretch. And release the arms down. Knees come in towards the body. Knees bend, come in towards the chest. And we'll release the knees over to the right. Left hip stacks over right hip. Right hand lands on the top of the left knee. And the left arm opens up like the letter T. I'm working towards getting this left shoulder onto the ground. That's okay if the knees don't touch or touch the ground. You might even look over this extended left arm. Supta Matsyendrasana, supine spinal twist. You're just breathing here. This is one of those poses that just the breath and gravity do the work for you. Head comes through center, knees come back up through center. Gently release the knees over to the left. Left hand comes to land on top of the right knee. Right arm is open like the letter T. Pressing this right shoulder down. Look over towards the right hand to complete this spinal twist. So you just imagine your spine like a spiral staircase all the way from the hips down to where it connects with the skull is rotating. No need to pull. This pose is all about surrender. The more you relax into this posture, the deeper the twist will have space to get. Head comes back up through center, knees come up through center. Notice, is there any last movement or stretch or wiggle that your body's calling for that would round out your practice? So all class, you've been telling your body what to do, and now you just ask back, is there anything left that would serve it? That would serve you to be able to rest more fully during this final meditation. And just allow yourself to move through that freely. Doesn't have to have a fancy yoga name. And as you're ready, we'll extend the legs down for Shavasana. Final relaxation pose, corpse pose. Feet come to land at least a foot apart. Legs so relaxed that the feet naturally splay open to the sides. Shoulders tuck underneath the body to support the chest. The arms release down by the sides. Palms face up, a symbol, a mudra of receptivity. Allow yourself to receive the benefits of your effort here today. Eyes can close if that's comfortable. If not, a soft gaze to the sky above is just fine. If you know laying like this is going to bring tension into your back, you can bend in the knees. Bring the feet to the edges of the mat nice and wide. Knock the knees together. Lift and tuck the hips before gently placing them back down for broken bridge pose. So here in broken bridge, traditionally in Shavasana, or seated in your chair, if that's where you prefer to practice, is all valid. We just want to focus on Shavasana being a time of integration and relaxation for you. Okay. We'll start with 3 cleansing breaths in through the nose, audible sigh out the mouth. So allow the breath to continue in and out through the nose if that's available. Allowing your exhalations to deepen and become long. Every exhale sinking you heavier and deeper into the ground below. Invite space between top and bottom teeth as the jaw hangs heavy. The tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth. Nose and nostrils relax. And the space between the eyebrows broadens as all the muscles in the forehead relax. Neck and throat relax. Shoulders and shoulder blades melt away. Upper arms and elbows. Lower arms and wrists. Rest. Palms, backs of the hands, knuckles, fingers, whole hands alive with vibration, whole hands alive with creative potential. Rest and integrate. All
heavy. Chest and belly gently rise and fall with the breath. Pelvis, glutes, and hips rest heavy, supported by the ground below. Thighs and knees melt away. Shins, calves, and ankles relax. Feet and toes rest. Whole body rests. Whole body rests. Whole body rests. Notice if in your mind, if only for a moment, that inner chatter quieted. Notice if in your breath there's ease. Notice if in your body the places of tension have found space, and the places of restlessness have found peace. Allow for everything that did and did not happen in class today. And know that in yoga, practice makes practice. Allow your inhalations to deepen. That feeling of heaviness is replaced with a feeling of lightness and expansion. Fingers begin to wiggle and toes begin to curl. Every inhale brings your awareness towards the surface. Head gently rocks side to side. And arms reach up overhead for a full body stretch. Allow your knees to bend and roll over to whichever side feels natural. You can use that bottom arm as a pillow. Fully released and fully supported by the ground below you in a fetal position. Just bring to mind any intention or dedication you set for class, or take a moment here to set one now. And if that intention inspires you, take it with you off the mat and into the world. Allow it to affect you and the people around you for the rest of your day. With eyes still closed or gently lowered, press your hands into the ground to come up to a seated position, just like how we started class. Hands come to meet at heart center, palms pressed together in Anjali Mudra. Today we worked on a series of strengthening postures, including some wrist resiliency, some joint resiliency. The first namaste is said silently to yourself, thanking your body for the effort it put into class. And the second namaste is said out loud to the community that held this space. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who joined me. I hope you found something that serves you. I hope that your time spent here today makes the rest of your day better. Hello, Evolve Yourself TV. I saw you message. I gave you a smile during Shavasana. Namaste, hey, cool sword. So great to have you. Namaste, ethereal. How are you guys feeling? I know it's like a more fiery class than we normally. I don't know. Maybe these last couple of weeks we've been doing kind of fiery classes in general, but we did more like strengthening than usual, than always. I don't know. I was just kind of feeling it. How do your forearms feel, ethereal? Did those wrist stretches kind of like get into the area that was feeling a certain type of way, or because I got more. There's endless options always. Those are just the ones that I like intuitively was like, I think these might help. Yeah, they're feeling better. Great. Wrist stuff is like, it's a slow burn, guys. It's not like, it just takes time. I usually do those before I game. Oh, nice. Yeah, for sure. You've definitely done wrist strengthening stuff with me before. Okay. Are you streaming today, ethereal? Let's see. We can read sets and reps. Not last time. Yes. All right. Well, same game. Nothing too exciting. Got some more CS. All right. Some more Counter-Strike. Yeah, guys, definitely check out Ethereal's page. She'll be streaming later today, and I just think it's fun to see people on stream. I don't know how to. I'm giving you a verbal shout out because I still haven't done my Twitch commands because that would be really easy for me to do, and I just haven't done it. So, one day, guys, one day. So channel announcements. Next Sunday, I will be traveling. Which is like, oh, okay. So just, but so I don't know if I'll be in a place that I can stream or not yet. But I'll put it in my channel announcements, and quite a few of you know in real life, so I'll text you. Oh, that's Lucy crying. I need to bring her out. All right, it's time for me to go. Let's go raid Swiss. He was doing some crazy thing last time, but he might be playing music again, so that's cool. So the next 2 weeks are kind of up in the air because I might be traveling to and then back from the place. It would be really like I want to stream from Joshua Tree, but I'll let you guys know how it goes. Until then, have a great day. I might do maybe a Saturday stream instead of Sunday if I am actually traveling on the Sunday. We'll figure it out. 007, great to have you. Great to have all of you guys. Evolve Yourself TV, Hey Cool Sword, Ethereal. Big Papa, all of you guys. All right, let's go say hi to Swiss and enjoy the rest of your day, guys.